Wait, stop. That's the one. Welcome to ZEN TENN Speaks, a show where I make new friends and reconnect with old ones. A show where everyone's stories may inspire you to tell your own story. In this podcast, we encourage everyone to get rid of shame, guilt, fear, doubt, and judgments for themselves and for others, and replace those with love, empathy, compassion, understanding, kindness, and to do your best in everything that you do. In essence, to get rid of things that no longer serve your well-being. To be true to yourself and be honest with others. Today we have a guest. Our guest today is Maurice Myers. He and I met on a sobriety group on Facebook, and he wanted to share his story as he is over 60 days clean. So we are here to talk about Maurice's story. Thank you, Maurice, for being here.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for having me. Yeah,
thank you. You're welcome. So tell us about who you are and what brings you joy.
Well, first of all, my name is Maurice Myers. Born and raised in Chicago, Illinois. Landed out in California November 13, 2018. And what brings me joy is waking up every day knowing that I'm clean and sober, you know what I'm saying? Because it was a struggle for me, through family genetics and just life trials and tribulations. But today I got it figured all out. I thought I had it figured all out, but I got the truth today, Yeah, just basically growing up in that type of lifestyle, which I think many people who have struggled with addiction grew up in a lifestyle of something that they can't change, which meaning that passed on down the line of family members. And, like when you're young and growing up, you seeing things, I think, I guess that's cool.
Right.
But it's not cool. It took me a while to figure things out. So I got 4 children. And I thought I had it figured out when I had my firstborn, but I didn't.
So what currently brings you joy?
What currently brings me joy is my sobriety, my comrades, because I'm still in the program. I'm taking it one day at a time. I'm still here. And just family, positive family. You got some negative family members, but I stick with the winners.
Mm-hmm.
Just waking up every day knowing that I'm a winner. That brings me joy.
That's great to hear. So why do you use the word clean?
The reason why I use the word clean is because I'm clean of everything. I'm clean of my addiction to drugs, clean of alcohol, and I'm clean from negative people. That's what was digging a hole for me. That's why I use the word clean, and just being mindful of things that's very important in my life. Yeah.
It is awesome that you got into the space of you recognize where you at and where you needed to be. And that was a click for you. Like, tell us about that click when it happened for you.
That moment was when, on October the 14th is when I decided, when it clicked for me. October 14th, 2021. Which was today. I made 62 days clean and sober. That day, October 14th, it clicked for me because that was the day I lost my wife. October 14th of 2018.
Wow, my condolences.
Yes, I lost my wife. Not lost her in death, but lost her through my addiction.
Oh, okay.
So I understand why she chose to go the other way, because she dealt with me for 10 years with my addiction, and it was hard dealing with a person like me under the influence.
Mm-hmm.
So I chose that day to stop drinking, stop using. And what clicked also was when my auntie, who I reside with out here in San Diego, she told me, and she shed a tear in her eye, "You look like my sister when you drunk and you high." And I don't like that. You know, my auntie is 67 years old, and she drank a beer for the first time when she was 16, and she never liked the taste and never touched nothing again ever in her life. Her sister is my mother, who died at a young age of 52 of addiction to alcohol. She was an alcoholic, you know. She was addicted to drugs, cocaine. And she died of lung cancer, but she was alcoholic. And she died at 52 years old, and I don't want to go down that path. I'm 50 years old now, you know. By the way, I look amazing.
Nice.
I just didn't want to go down that road, you know what I'm saying? Because I have something to live for. You know, God put me here for a reason, not a season. You know, I had my ups and downs. I'm not going to sit here and act like I walked through the path of addiction like, yeah, jolly. No, I had my ups and downs. You know, I had my moments where I almost lost my life. You know, getting sliced in my face because I smoked up the last crack rock, you know, and you know, just thinking about them days and them times was like, you know, I don't know what word to use, but it's I just don't know how to explain it, but I feel good today. I tell you that. You know, just being mindful now today. Like I say, when my auntie told me that I look like my mom, it tore me down. It tore me down. You know, I was like, wow, you know, man, you know, my mom was a beautiful person. Yes, she was. You know what I'm saying? And just saying that, I understand what she was saying. She was saying that my drinking and my using, I'm looking like her, and that made her very uncomfortable. So I told her, find a place that a treatment center, and I'm gonna go join the treatment, because I always put it off. I'm gonna get help. I'm gonna get help. But this time I stuck with my guns and I got help. And I'm so proud of the fellowship program out here in Escondido. They open their arms, they open their doors, and one thing I like, their doors would never close. You know, just doing things on a daily basis, what got my mind off addiction. Straighten your bed, just the little things. Getting up in the morning, straighten your bed. You know, filling those gaps of loneliness and downtime, so you won't have to think about using and drinking and doing all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So with that mentality, I feel great today. You know what I'm saying? Just always constantly something to do, making groups, making meetings. You know, I just had got out of a meeting right before I got on this podcast right here, and it was an AA meeting on Saturday morning at 9:30 in the morning to 10:30.
Nice. Wow.
And we talked about the 12 steps and the 12 traditions. You know, what each step mean to you. You know what I'm saying? So just knowing your steps and knowing what to do, following your heart. Because at the end of the day, you think you got it all. Some people think they got it all, but you don't. It's real hard trying to do it by yourself.
Yes, as humans, we need a community, and we need at least one person. If you have that can be a lot. So we need to stay connected. And I'm very grateful, and I'm glad that you connected with me, because although we're far, as a human race, we need to be there for each other and connect.
Oh, for sure. Like I said, when I joined the sobriety group on Facebook, I seen a lot of hope. I seen a lot of realness, and I understood, because that was me. As a matter of fact, that still is me. Learning to accept is the main key. Yes, I am an addict, and I will always be an addict. See, that was my big thing. What accepting and not knowing my position. Yes, I am an addict, and I will always be one. I don't have nothing to hide no more. I was always running.
Yeah, it's good. I love that, because we all have things, skeletons in our closets, and we all have something to feel afraid or shame or guilt about. So there's no really point of hiding it. And I'm glad that you're in that awareness and position in your life. That's amazing.
Oh, yeah. That's the number one. That's the number one key right there. Because when you learn to accept, you let go a lot of things. A lot of things don't really mean. A lot of things don't, like, negative things don't mean nothing to you no more. Because that was my big thing when I was out there drugging and using and drinking. Negative. Everything negative means something to me. I had to get my next fix, which means I had to steal and lie. And one thing I'm not good at Zen, I'm not good at lying. Because you can read it in my face. I'm not good at it.
You don't have a poker face, huh?
No, I don't have a poker face, and that's what was getting me in trouble. With the law, raising my kids and all that. I got my oldest son. He's 25 years old, Maurice Jr.
Wow.
Back in Chicago. He's locked up right now for murder.
Wow. I'm so sorry.
Because I was not in his life. Reason why I wasn't in his life? Because my father wasn't in my life. I didn't know how to be a father. I've been making these babies and don't know how to be a father. I was making these babies because it was, where I come from, the mean streets of Chicago, it was cool to have 2 or 3 girlfriends. You got 2 or 3 babies. That was the life, But knowing how to be a father, that's the real life. I didn't know none of that. I was stuck.
Wow.
And look what happened today. My son is, I pray for him every day. He's facing the rest of his life in prison. And what we learn and we talk together, instead of me talking to, every time I talk to him on the phone, I don't talk to him about why you do this and why you do that. You know what I talk to him about? I talk to him about when he come home, what we gonna do together. That's what I talk about. Because I'm learning now how to be a father. I have 4 children altogether. I have a 9-year-old, Xavier, 10-year-old, Jamaris, and I have a 13-year-old daughter, Jalea. And I am proud to say I am a father to them. I'm still a father to Maurice too, but he's just behind bars. Proud to say that. And when my father died, I want to go back a little bit, because when I was young, growing up, when I used to ask my mom all the time, "Mom, where's my dad?" Because my brother's father stayed. He raised us before he got killed. And I used to ask my mom, "Mom, where's my father?" She would say, "Boy, get out of my face. I'm your father." So growing up in the mean streets of Chicago, the projects, I chose the streets as to be my father. The streets was my father. And when I say the streets was my father, yes, they was. They was making me do things that a real father would never make a son do. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to put it all out there, but yes, I was doing some stuff that I wasn't supposed to be doing. Led me down to a path of destruction, led me to addiction, led me to thinking that I'm powerful. But all the time, the coward that taught me this tried to make me a coward. But I'm not a coward. I'm a real man. A real man gonna stand up and talk about it. You know, he had me believing things that was out and that wasn't right. Until I learned. I learned going in and out of these institutions, in and out of jail. That's not right. That's not right for a man. Any man, you don't even have to have an addiction. Any man, prison is not right. So today I grasp onto that. Now I'm a father to my children. Even in this program I'm in, I make sure I call them every morning, make sure they get up for school, make sure they have the things that they need. All the way from Escondido, California to Chicago, I make sure that. Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing to hear how you are stepping up and basically stop the bullshit. And this is what the podcast is about, to recognize where we stumbled and we can do better. So, you know, and Maya Angelou say, once you know better, do better. And that's what you're doing. So yes. Applause. And I'm very glad and happy that you have stopped the, what's that thing called? Like when you recognize the process of how your dad left you and then you left your kids. So now you're taking back responsibility. That's amazing. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. It's because I don't want to fall down the path of how my father left. When I found out the real reason why, when I decided to talk, because I was stubborn for a while. He tried to get in my life. I was stubborn. I was like, man, go ahead on. You know, you made other kids just plain forgot about me. You know what I'm saying? So I put the burden back on him. Dang, I don't even want to talk. Go ahead. That's what all I used to say. But when I was in Las Vegas having a good time of my life, doing what I wanted to do, I get a phone call from my sister on my daddy's side. Because me and her always kept in touch. You know, one thing I did was, I might not have kept in touch with him, but I kept in touch with my siblings. Reason why is because I want my kids to know their uncles and aunties. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I need a community of family.
Yes, exactly. So when I was in Las Vegas, I get a phone call from my sister saying that our father is in the hospital with kidney failure. I hung up the phone from her and I started feeling some type of way. I said, you know what? I need to make amends before my father died, because my mom already passed in 2007 and her last words to me was, make amends with your father. Do that for me.
Oh, so they had a good relationship together?
No, they didn't have a good relationship. I'm not going to say that. But that's what she wanted me to do.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because I always asked about him. And her last words to me was, make amends with your father. So she had this black phone book with a lot of pages in it, and only had one name and phone number in that book, and that was Moses Williams, my father.
That's a great name.
Yes. So I decided to call him, and he told me, son, I'm in the hospital. If you can get down here and see me, that'd be great. I call him Pops. I say, Pops, let me hang up this phone so I can make my reservations on the next flight, and I'm on my way to see you. I stopped everything I did, having a good time. I had my girlfriend with me, having a good time and everything. And I went to go see my father, man.
Oh, that's great.
It was awkward.
I bet.
It was quiet in the room for at least about 2 hours because I didn't know what to say to him. He didn't know what to say to me. We was actually watching a football game. His favorite team is Philadelphia Eagles. We actually just watched the football game. You know, we making small talk, and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Until the real conversation began. And to be honest with you, I'm not going to sit here and lie because I'm not good at it. I was scared to ask him why did he leave me at a young age.
Oh, wow. Did you finally did ask, though?
I finally did ask him. I finally got the balls to ask him, probably because a few nurses came in and gave him his medicine, you know, and hyped him up a little bit, so to get ready. And I finally asked him. I say, Pops, I said, why did you leave me when I was 3 years old? You know what he told me? And it stuck with me. He said, son, I didn't leave you. I left your mother.
Oh, because he was trying to reach out, as you mentioned.
Yes, he said, I didn't leave you, son. I left your mother. And now all that hit me and slapped me in my face. That was the reason why my mom never wanted me to talk about my father. Because he left her, not me. She kept me with me.
You know, I do notice that a lot, where how there's a wedge between the children and the father. And I don't understand why mothers do that. I do understand the aspect. It's like if the father left her, but it's kind of like preventing the children to see the father, especially if the father wants to be in their lives. It's and I'm not gonna sit here to think I know it all, or they should do or should not do something. I'm just questioning in like curiosity, like what's going on through their minds and why, etc. Because I've seen that a lot, and I know someone where the mother left the father, but the kid, like someone I knew, he would resent his mother, and she was trying to be in his life, and he would not let her, until recently he realized that it's not her who rejected him. It was him rejecting her for like 25 years of his life because he feels a certain way about it. And that's amazing. And I rejected my brother, who won't talk to me now anymore, but I rejected him because of propaganda and my what's that thing called? Brainwashing by my mother for a long time. And when you brainwash and when you become an adult, some people could be like, oh, now you can talk again, but you still, you know, anything from your childhood, you bring up to your adulthood if you're not going to do the work to fix yourself, you know? So I rejected him for years until I realized, like, this is wrong. I'm rejecting him for no reason beside the brainwashing. There was absolutely no reason.
Right. So
wow.
That's what led me to even drugging and drinking even harder, because when he died, his last words to me were, sorry, son.
Wow.
I was like, you know, to me, I called it a celebration. To me, I don't know how nobody else felt, but to me, it gave me reasons to go party hard, even harder. You know, until it made me forget my reason for being. You know what I'm trying to say? It took me off my square as far as my responsibilities with my children. I lost my job because I was partying so hard. I was so happy that my father said he's sorry. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It was like a victory to me. And I took advantage of that victory. I lost my job. I moved to Minnesota, and things got worse. Lost me and my wife broke up. Like I told you, my wife broke up because I was partying too hard. And she was like, you know what? I'm done with you. You got to get yourself together. So that's why I chose October 14, 2021 as my sobriety day. One thing I know, they can take my wife, they can take my car, they can take my kids, they can take my house, they can take my everything, but they can't take my sobriety day.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing they can't take away from me. That's because that belongs to me.
So,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, totally, and I'm very proud of you for that. So tell us about, since you're mentioning how now you don't have any more fear since you're sober now. What is the shame, guilt, and fear that you have been logging around, and how are you working on overcoming those?
Well, with Shane, I'm ashamed right now to be around my kids because they know what's really going on, and they didn't know. The guilt is when I feel guilty, man, for even put myself in a situation like that, and my family, because I'm the backbone of the family, of the Myers family, my mom's side of the family. You know, and the fear, you know, like I say, I'm only in treatment. The reality starts when I get out of here. You know, that's what I fear of.
Right.
The reality starts when I leave this place. You know what I'm saying? Because you got all types of triggers. You know what I'm saying? About billboards, liquor stores at every corner, commercials on TV. Those are all triggers. So what I learned is we all got the same 24 hours. It's all how you're gonna use your 24 hours. So with me, I already know I need 8 hours to sleep, make your body feel good. You know what I'm saying? But what I need to do is fill those 16 hours, them gaps. Because when you got too much downtime, that's when the triggers, the urges, everything start building up and balling up in the back of your mind, makes you want to do these things. Since I've been here, I don't have no downtime. I make meetings. On top of meetings, I have something to do. I help out in the kitchen. I help out around this place. I do things I need to do for those 16 hours. Now I got 8 hours to go rest to start back over to do it all again tomorrow. And so far, it's been working for me for 61 days.
Yeah, that is so true. I was reading a book that says the best way to practice to get joy into your life is to serve others. And volunteering, helping someone else, and giving back or giving forward, and keeping busy. Because I went through a wave of depression for 10 months around last year and this year, and keeping busy and also doing my my mental work also helped. But keeping busy helped a lot because I took my mind away from self-pity of the depression and shame and guilt about how I was feeling. So keeping busy definitely helps. Instead of having downtime, you don't know what to do with yourself.
Right, exactly. So let me ask you this: when you kept yourself busy, the depression is not even involved in your mindset no more, because you have to be mindful.
Yep, exactly.
Depression is really, really, really addictive.
Mm-hmm.
It goes on every day.
It is. It's like a feel good but feel nasty feeling.
That's right. So when you fill your gap with things you like to do, positive people around you that's going to uplift you every day, you ain't even got to worry about that no more.
Yep, and this podcast keeping me busy. I get a lot of editing to do. And talking to people like you and getting inspired by your bravery too.
That's right. You know, because some people are scared to talk about it. So that's what people like that, I'll deprive myself away from, because if you're afraid to talk about what you got yourself into and what you did, that means you're going to fall back into that category.
Right. And that also means you're not living your authentic self too. You have something to hide. And when you hide things, you're not really joyful.
That's right. That's right. And one thing about me, Zen, you can ask these 48 guys who I stay with. They say, Maurice, you look so happy every day. It's because I don't let nothing get to me anymore. I don't let nothing get to me anymore, because one thing I learned, that God got me. He got me.
Nice. I see greatness for you. Like, based on what you're saying, the future looks very bright, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I just one thing I learned, and I learned to let go. I learned to be more patient with myself. Once you learn them two things right there, the journey is far. You can take things far. What I want to do is take what I learn, and teach it to someone who need help.
Yeah, you will eventually.
That's my goal.
And if along the way when you don't your program, I usually when I talk to people like you, because I've done this for a while now, I tell people be in that program as long as they'll let you. And as long as when you're ready to face the world, because as you say, there'll be triggers. And stay in there as long as they'll give you tools to use when you get out in the world again. Because if you don't have those tools, and if you don't know how to use those tools, and if you're not using them properly, you are not ready. So I would say you could ask yourself that question. And I don't know how the program is, but I'm sure it's a great program. You can ask them those questions and be ready. And know that you have a community, as you mentioned, letting go of those negative people. You have community online. You might find community in person, like an AA or NA. And since you say you have a goal, I'm looking forward to that, because being on the podcast now is the first seed, because once you achieve your goal, you can look back and we could get back on a podcast to talk about your anniversary, something like that.
That's right.
To see where you've gone. What is your relationship with your, like, what is is you and your wife have a goal in your relationship, since you like now in, what's that word you say, like in a program now, when you get out and you gonna do better, like, do you guys have a goal to get back together to make things for the future?
You know what? We don't really talk about that, but one thing she did tell me, that she said, I'm never going to divorce you because you're a good guy. She just don't want to be around my addiction, because we do a lot of things when I'm not under the influence. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Like they say, hit the sin, not the sinner, because you are going through stuff. It's like, you are not your addiction. You are not the maladies that you go through. So makes sense. That's great. That's beautiful to hear. And I hope eventually things will all straighten out, and you'll have, of course, all of this is having you have growth, and you have a great story to tell, of a story when you get to be where your goal is. You can tell that story to empower and inspire other people.
Yeah, because she said to me that, she said, that's amazing how you made the big step. Because the reason why I did that, because I came all the way to California to change my life. Because I want to be better. I want to do better. I want to be a better father. I want to be a better husband. I want to be a better brother. I want to be a better uncle. All the above. I want to be better. Like I tell my kids, like my 9-year-olds, Daddy, I want to be just like you. No, you want to be better than me. That's what I'm teaching you. You're going to be better than me.
Oh, nice.
That's what I teach. I teach better. You know, like my daughter, she want to be the next president. I told you, you are the president.
Yes. Speak it in present. Yes.
That's right.
Nice.
You know, I don't sit back like other parents and, oh boy, get out of here. Go on in your room. No. We don't do that. We don't do that in my household.
Oh, thank you so much, Maurice. Oh, that's beautiful to hear. Cause I've was somewhat raised like that, where they push you away, go watch TV or go read a book, and kids are here to be seen and not to be heard. That's terrible upbringing that I've had myself. And I'm glad that you're changing that. Thank you.
Yes. I said I want to break the mold, man, because at the end of the day, the idiot box don't teach us nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I call it, the idiot box. Like I talked to my wife and I let her know. I say, watch the news. Watch the news come on in the morning, midday, and in the evening, and at night. The reason why they put it on that many times, because they want you to know what's going on around you. That's all. Politics is politics. We've been growing and living through that forever. But watch the news. Know what your neighbor is doing next door. Know who's around you. Know who your sex offenders in your area. Because we have a lot of children out here.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have a lot of messed up people too as well.
Yeah. And a lot of people are not getting the mental help they need. Do you think so as well? What do you think about that?
Well, I think personally, put them in prison and institutionalizing them, mentally health challenged people that's out there doing that, they don't need that. They ain't doing nothing but making it worse. Give them the help that they need.
Yeah.
Put them in an area where they belong. They belong with each other. Put them with each other.
Right.
I'm just being honest. Put them with each other. Give them the help that they need. They might just want to be loved, but don't know how.
Yeah.
Felt it. You know, I grew up in a household, like I told you, my mom was a vicious mother, man. She was addictive. She whooped us all the time. Every time something made her mad, we got a whooping. And by me being the oldest, I got the worst of the end of it.
Yeah, I got whooping from just looking.
Yes.
Right? You say something, you get whooped. You don't say something, you get whooped.
That's right. Where's your brother? He's supposed to be there at 6. I'm like, I don't know, Mom. She whooping my ass.
Right.
Then when he walked to the door, she's so tired of whooping my ass, I'm going to whoop your ass tomorrow and forget all about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to tell my little brothers, like, listen, man. I used to sit them down. Listen, man. You see these whelps on my leg? You see this on my back? This is for y'all. I don't do nothing, man. I do my homework. I go to school. I do everything right. You know, I had to make them understand. And right now, today, my little brother, he lives in Minnesota. Got his own place, doing very good. My other brother, Michael, grew up under me. Lives in North Carolina. Fayetteville, North Carolina. Doing real good. Got his own place.
Oh, nice.
I'm out here in California. The only one ain't got his own place. Well, I got a resident right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out here in Escondido in the fellowship program, which is a wonderful program.
Yeah.
Wonderful program. They're going to work with me. They're going to help me in everything I need help in all the areas.
Yeah. So tell us, Maurice, tell us about prison life and how did you end up there?
Prison life?
Yes. Or jail, or I get confused with the terms.
I've never been to prison.
Oh, jail. What's the difference between jail and prison?
The difference between jail and prison is jail is where the baby's at. Prison is where the men at. You know?
Prison is where you get your ass whooped.
Prison is where you get your ass whooped. That's why I say the men. You separate the men from the boys.
Uh-huh.
You know, so that's why I prepare my son for the men.
Mm.
No, don't worry about the boys. You past that stage now. You're 25. You're a man. You know, that's why I tell them to work out. Pray every day. Get your mind mentally ready, because you don't want to be institutionalized. That's why they took everything away. I remember back in the days when you can get a college degree in jail. You can't do it no more. They took it all away because they don't want you to learn nothing. They want you to stay institutionalized. So when you do get out, you mess up again and you go right back.
Of course, they don't, like the Michael Jackson song says, they don't really care about us. It's about profits, being on top, about money. They don't care. you just gotta care for yourself. And if you don't care for yourself or you're not aware, then you're gonna end up in the hands. Just don't end up in the hands.
That's why the prisons all over the world is overpopulated, because they've taken the fathers out of these households and putting them in prison because they don't want the fathers to teach their kids how to be men.
Yep. Divide and conquer.
That's right. That's why you notice today it's more women independent now than anything. Back then, when I was growing up, the father ran the household, not the mother. The mother stayed home and took care of the kids. Now it's the other way around.
So how do you feel about that?
I don't like that. A man needs to step up and be a man. When one door closed, another door go open. Don't be pride because one door closed and you I'll just be a in-house dad. No. Get up off your lazy ass and go find a way. That's one thing I did. My wife would tell you. She didn't care about me drinking. That's why I said she put up with me for 10 years because I kept a job. Always worked. Mm-hmm. I know how to talk to people. I know how to do this. I started working when I was 12 years old, making $60 a week. So I knew what to do.
So yeah, go ahead.
That's why I made sure that I teach my kids. Like with Maurice, I fell off. I left him when he was 12, maybe 13, because I was off doing what I wanted to do. But when he made it to his adulthood, his 20s, his 21, where I messed up at is getting high with my son. Parents shouldn't do that. That's not right. Because at the end of the day, now they think they can talk to you any kind of way. They can bully you. This is what they think. This is their mindset. Because they getting high with their parents.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, that's tough. Wow.
I put my son in check though. When I passed him the weed back to him, I let him know, don't think you can whoop my ass now. Don't think that. Because I made you and I'll take you up off this goddamn planet. And won't feel no remorse. And go do my time with my hands behind my head, laying on my bunk.
A question for you about, because I'm curious about that. Growing up in school, and you probably grew up around that, like in the 80s as well, where even in our candy bars, they would put like, don't do drugs, stay away from drugs and things like that. Just say no. So did you hear about these messages?
Yeah, you know, we back in high school, we had a teacher. His name was Mr. Buckenberg, and that's all he taught was say no to drugs. Don't do this. Don't do that. This is bad for you. That made me want to go see how it was because I wanted to see for myself. What drugs would do to you. And deep down inside, I liked it. So I constantly was using it.
Mm-hmm.
But it took me 37 years old to get the message that he was trying to teach me at 16. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. What was your reason for taking it the first time?
Well, you say my reason to kick the first time?
Yeah, to take drugs the first time.
Well, my reason was because I wanted to be a school jock like the rest of the guys, you know, just doing what I was doing. I was like monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
That's what it was for me. Until one day I was lonely. Like all my friends I was getting high with was dying off, going to jail. Now I'm out here by myself. So the only thing I know how to do is what I was taught. taught how to make cocaine, taught how to turn cocaine into rock cocaine. Learn how to roll the blunts and smoke the weed. I learned all that. I learned how to twist the caps off the liquor. When I got a certain age, I can go in there and get it myself now instead of paying someone to go get a bottle from me. And I fell in love with that. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I fell in love with that.
Mm-hmm.
Until it kicked my ass one day. Meaning that I went to jail, about to face a long time, and straightened myself up, got myself right just for the judge, and once I finished whatever I need to finish, like probation and whatever else, I went back to what I know best.
Oh, so because you went to jail and probation, basically you were clean then until then?
Yes. And when I finished with them, I felt like, hey, it's back to me.
So I'm often curious to know why people go to jail. Do people go to jail because an action they made under the influence of drugs, or because of the drugs that they do? Because I'm often curious and confused about that part.
I think it's because of the drugs that they do. Because ain't nobody waking up that morning to say, hey, well, I feel like going to jail. No. You're trying to fulfill that fantasy, that high. So you're still looking for that first high.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So you're going to do whatever it takes to get it. Rob, steal, or kill, whatever you got to do to get it.
Mm. So they put you to jail and they don't even rehabilitate you because you're doing it you need help, but they're not helping.
No, they're not helping. What they're doing is slowing you down. They putting you in a process of, it's like, how like horse racing.
Yeah.
As soon as they open up the gate, the horses go out running. That's how these institutionalized animals are. That's how we were. I know that's how I was. Hell, I was strung out. First thing I could think about was when I got out of jail was, man, let me go get this high that I thought that I'm still chasing that same high.
Why do you think they do that to people? Like, they know you need help, but instead of helping you, to put you to jail until you get out, and then they put on a trap to put you back in. Why do you think that's there?
Because that's the way they get their money. Every inmate is worth thousands of dollars. One inmate is worth $61,000 in the state of Illinois.
So what does the inmate do? Do they do like slave work in there?
Well, I wouldn't call it slave work. It's a lot of downtime. They don't give you books to read. You got to order your own books, which it costs money. So they make you work for $1.19 a day. And now that you're gonna build this money up, you have to buy from them whatever snacks and food that they want you, that they put on the commissary for you to have. You buy it, you spend your money, all the money that you made from working for them, you spend your money on it. Now they wait about a week or two and come take it back from you to resell it back to you.
Right. So you have to buy your toothpaste, toothbrush, and soap and stuff?
They give you that when you first enter. Now, when you run out, you have to buy your own.
Wow.
You want the good stuff. They give you the generic stuff. They gonna give you that because they have to. This is what they have to do. But if you want the good stuff, you have to pay for it, which means you got to work for it. Work for them to pay for what you need.
They probably make it taste bad so you can buy the tasteful stuff.
Yeah, and then they, like say for instance, you get a release date. They give you, what's it called? Gate money. That's what they say, gate money. They give you $100, $200 of gate money. Here, go ahead. Now you and I know both what they're gonna go do with that money.
Wow, so they're trapping you.
That's all it is, man. That's all it is. They don't want us to learn. They want us to stay institutionalized, dumb to the fact that ain't no black man, no white man making no growing cocaine and drugs and making guns. They're not doing that in their houses or in their backyards. They got places where they're going and growing it at, and they know where they're growing it at.
Mm-hmm.
But yet and still, we, dumb to the fact, don't know what's going on, go out and purchase this and that, get caught, go into jail. It's like a circle. It's like a cycle.
Revolving door.
Like a revolving door, like my uncle. My uncle just got out, I say about 5 or 6 years ago. He did 32 years. When he got out, he didn't even know what a cell phone was. He didn't know how to use a cell phone. He told me, could you drop me off at a payphone? I said, Uncle, ain't no payphones no more. He been gone 32 years.